Hello, and welcome to Experience Fulton, the podcast. I'm Regina Waller, Division Manager, Communications and External Affairs for Fulton County. This podcast will not only provide you with information regarding the services and products that Fulton County has to offer, but we'll give you a close-up look into the department and the people who bring you those services. Experience Fulton, the podcast, is taking you north to North Fulton County. That is for the grand opening of the Health and Human Services North facility located at 4700 North Point Parkway. Under one roof, a variety of services, including mental health services, also public health services, senior services, and more. So stay tuned to Experience Fulton, the podcast, to find out the details. Regina Waller here with a very special episode of Experience Fulton, the podcast, here in April of 2026. In fact, it's April 9th. We are preparing for another big deal here in Fulton County. In just a few days, the new Health and Human Services North facility will open. You may remember we had a sledgehammer ceremony back in February 2025. This 108,000 square foot former data center has been transformed into a centralized hub for health and human services here in Fulton County. A $25 million investment. To talk to us more about what services will be all under one roof, we'd like to welcome Dr. Pamela Roshell, the Chief Operating Officer here in Fulton County. So thank you so much for joining us and welcome.
Well, Regina, thank you for having me today. I'm so excited. This is my first podcast.
Oh, you're doing great. You're doing great. And I know you have a great deal of information that you're going to provide for our listeners and our viewers. We are here, as we mentioned, 4700 North Point Parkway. Have transformed this building into, I like to call it, services all under one roof.
Yes.
So let's start out with the different type of services that will be offered, if you could talk to us about that.
So here at the HHS North facility, we will have a variety of services for our customers, our families, our constituents in North Fulton who may need access to public health services. We have a full array of public health services, everything from children's dental services, nursing. We also now have a very convenient travel clinic. And for the first time ever, this far north of the county, we have a vital records program. And so in the past, citizens, constituents had to come downtown to our government center for those records. And now they have the opportunity to get those vital records right here at North Point Parkway. We will also have behavioral health outpatient services for children, adolescents, and for adults. And we will include in this facility, for the first time this far north, senior services. So we'll have adult day health. We'll also have a senior center. And we are super excited about the opportunity to bring those services here. We'll also have a developmental disabilities training center. So for families that have adult children or loved ones that need support during the day and socialization, they will have that opportunity here as well. And we will also have a recovery court for any individuals who have had the unfortunate experience of a DUI or some other substance use issue while driving. This is an opportunity for a second chance, and it's a recovery court that provides group therapy, one-on-one therapy, and just an opportunity as an alternative sentencing.
You know, Dr. Roshell, you've mentioned a great many services, and I am so excited. And you also talked about senior services. We're getting a brand new senior center here, correct?
Brand new. So 2 programs, adult day health for individuals that are a bit more medically frail. It will require an assessment from the individual's physician to participate, but we have a wonderful staff, new staff that have been hired and have been actually training at our other adult day health centers in the community. And so this will give caregivers some respite. It will give individuals who are vulnerable and quite often at home most of the time an opportunity to socialize. We provide lunch, transportation, so we're super excited about that as well.
Also, a number of partners are coming up here with us as well. Here at 4700, we have Chris 180. We also have Grady, and you mentioned Vital Records, which is part of the Board of Health, and they are very excited as well to be on the second floor, I believe.
Yes.
And so, the process for this started over a year ago. You were here for the sledgehammer ceremony we had on February 11th.
Hard hat and all.
And so you got a chance to swing it at the wall. And so we talked about bringing these services here in North Fulton, but why is it so important to have started that journey and then ultimately completed here for the citizens in North Fulton?
Well, Regina, actually, the journey started in 2019. We purchased this facility in 2019, we the county, and then COVID hit. Mm-hmm. And so the first health and human service offering actually was a vaccination center.
I remember.
We housed a plethora of materials. We were one of the largest and busiest vaccination sites in the state. And so that was actually the first offering. And over time, as we wound down the COVID experience, we got back on track for health and human services, which was the original intent. And so the reason that it's very important is to provide access to care close to home. Mm-hmm. All of the research indicates that proximity improves access and improves compliance. And so when individuals have an easier time of getting to the services that they need, they're more likely to be compliant with those appointments and any of the treatment plans that they have. So we are so grateful for all of the partners and especially our internal teams. Dream has been amazing. We've had some challenges along the way that were of no one's fault, just natural things like a water main break, different things. But we're here today. They were able to keep us on track, and we look forward to the ribbon cutting on the 16th.
Oh yeah, we've got a number of activities coming. You mentioned the ribbon cutting on April 16th. Then we're going to have a community day on Saturday, April 18th, to invite the public to come out. And you mentioned that now those who live in North Fulton, although we have a wonderful government center and we have a wonderful resources there in that area, they are closer to home and they'll have access to that. So with that being said, Fulton County has placed great investment, not only through time, but through finances, but just commitment as well.
Yes.
Are we going to see this in other parts of the county? For instance, will we get something in South Fulton? Or?
Great question. So the county did undertake a study a couple of years ago called Project Care. And it really did help us identify where we have service gaps. We identified a healthcare desert. We're in partnership with Grady Hospital to open a brand new acute care hospital in South Fulton. And so we're also going to be bringing to the board the results of a feasibility study that really will highlight a similar footprint in South Fulton. So more to come on that. We plan to present that information to the board in June, and it will really detail where we believe the facility should be, what the services should be, and so we're really looking forward to expanding our footprint in the South as well.
All right, that's exciting news. And so, Dr. Roshell, just want to say thank you so much for taking a few minutes to talk with us about this grand opening of the Health and Human Services North Building here at 4700 North Point Parkway. It's a very exciting time for Fulton County, so just thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
As we have mentioned, there will be several resources and services located in the Health and Human Services North facility at 4700 North Point Parkway in Alpharetta. We are preparing for the grand opening of this facility, but April 9th is the day of orientation for those resources, services, and departments that will be located in the building. One of the primary resources that we will have will be for behavioral health and developmental disabilities. So one of the partners with them is Chris 180, and we welcome with us Miss Ebony Robinson. So thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. It's a beautiful building.
Oh, great. And you're going to be located here. Can you tell us what your role is?
Yes. I am one of the clinical directors in our school-based mental health department with Chris 180.
And so located here, Chris 180, working in partnership with Behavioral Health and Developmental Disabilities. What does that mean? What type of services will you provide in tandem with BHDD?
Okay, so with school-based mental health specifically, we are partnered with 45 schools, Fulton County schools in Fulton, and we provide on-site mental health services. So we do the individual counseling, we do family counseling, we do group counseling, we do everything that a traditional counseling center would do. In addition, what we'll be doing here is providing core services, so that is adult and adolescent mental health through our clinical practice here. And then also we do youth diversion. So we have a YRP program that we can kind of push in when there's some more support needed for adolescents. And so yeah, we're really excited about the opportunity to expand that and have that kind of more honed in this space.
Well, that is my next question for you. What does that mean for the residents here in North Fulton County?
It just means just like more support readily available. We are kind of expansive. We're kind of all over the place, but at the same time, we want to be able to get the support, give the support where needed. So we're going to just kind of jump in, dive in, let everybody know who we are, what we do, so that we can be of even more service to the residents of Fulton County.
All right, Ms. Ebony Robinson for Chris 180, thank you for joining us. Stay tuned to Experience Fulton, the podcast, and we will tell you how to find out more about the services being provided here at 4700 North Point Parkway. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Health and Human Services North here at 4700 North Point Parkway in Fulton County. As you know, we are preparing for the grand opening on April 16th. Included under one roof, behavior health and developmental disability services. Also, we will have recovery court and senior services, but we will also have a component here from the Board of Health. So I'd like to present to you guys, we have our visitor here from the Board of Health. As you could tell us your name and your role here.
My name is Chioma Nkenke. I'm a senior nurse manager over here at North Fulton.
And so the Board of Health will be here at 4700 North Point Parkway. And Vital Records is the key component here. Can you talk to us about the department that will be here?
So over here we're going to have, of course, you mentioned the vital records. We have the oral health care, and then we have our nursing department. And the nursing department, we're going to be doing immunization, travel clinic, refugee programs, and we have safe syringes, we have pregnancy tests, we call it PCM, and then we have the women's health as well. That includes family planning, BCCP, and STI programs. So,
just a number of services. You guys are going to be located on the second floor.
yes.
And so here at 4700 North Point Parkway, why is it important? What does this mean for the residents here in North Fulton County that you all will be located here?
So before we came over, I mean, we're moving from the other location over to this location. But before we started with that location, the residents over here, they used to travel for their services. But since we're here, they don't need to do that anymore. They have us here. And then we have a lot of schools here that will need like vaccinations and their records for the school system. So us being here is actually like helping them with having them to traveling to other locations.
So you all, the Board of Health is already in North Fulton, but
Yes.
now all under one roof
Yes.
instead of at other locations. So that gives the residents an opportunity to come to one location for all of these
the
public
services.
health services.
Yes.
All right, excellent. So it's an exciting time for us, and so you guys are also getting ready for the orientation, preparing for the employees who will be in this building so that they'll be ready to serve when this building opens
Yes.
in mid-April.
We are ready.
Well, thank you so much for joining us and giving us a sneak preview into what the Board of Health has to offer.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We've been talking about the different services that can be found under the new facility here at Health and Human Services North at 4700 North Fulton Parkway in Alpharetta here in Fulton County. We have another partner here with us, Grady Hospital, which is partnering with Fulton County and also providing services along with behavioral health and developmental disabilities. And I want to introduce everyone to Ms. Rhea Masco, who is a Grady representative. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so you all are going to be located, I believe, on the first level here in the facility, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, so what will be Grady's role? What will be some of the services that will be provided?
So we'll be working with adults ages 18 and up, providing services like peer support, individual therapy, group counseling, nursing assessments, helping people get connected to primary care if they do not have a primary care doctor, as well as providing medication management, groups, and things like that for the adolescent population.
So people who find themselves in crisis, and then they will be able to come to this facility if they live in North Fulton County, correct?
Absolutely. So if someone is experiencing a crisis, they can stop by to be evaluated, and then the team will determine the next level of care that they need.
In the planning for the HHS North building and in bringing in partners, why was it important for Grady to be a part of this process?
I think it's important for Grady to be a part of this process because we are big on serving the community of Fulton and DeKalb counties, but just being able to provide access to care. That's been the mission in making sure that everyone is able to access mental health care regardless of if they're insured or not.
So for the people here in North Fulton County, if they need assistance, they won't have to go too far, correct?
Correct. We're right here.
Well, thank you so much for joining us and giving us just a sneak peek into the different services that will be provided through Grady in partnership with Fulton County here at the HHS North facility. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So thank you for joining us for Experience Fulton, the podcast, for this special episode, as we always say, here at Health and Human Services North Facility at 4700 North Point Parkway. We've learned about all of the different types of resources and services that will be provided to residents when this facility officially opens in mid-April. But to learn more, be sure to check us out at www.fultoncountyga.gov to learn more.